And good evening, boys and girls, and to all the mums out there. Happy Mother's Day. But it's Sunday, Rum Day. Rum Day is more important than Mother's Day, innit? So we are back this week. Yes, I put 50p in the meter. Thanks, Bingo. I was waiting for Karen, actually. Got to save the batteries, haven't we? We've got to save the batteries. There we go. Tonight is the much delayed, well, from last week's Craft Rum Club sort of unboxing, sort of cocktail make along. I'll explain a bit in a second. There's no guest tonight, but that will, I'll explain why in a second. So, yes, for those of you, the amount of DMs I've had today, I've had at least sort of 6 or 7 DMs today. It's like, oh, did you do that last week? No, because the internet weren't working last week, so we didn't go live, did we? Hey, so Claire, Jake, Ian, Connor, Andy B, Bingo, Ringo. Do you know what, Bingo? When I see you on Instagram, I'm like, who the hell is that? That's so familiar. Chris Ring. Drury's Woodturn. Hello, Drury's. Christopher, is that Vale? I can't see. V-A, the reason why I'm putting you on screen. Yeah, Vale. There we go. Whereabouts are you? My cousins live in Hoshton. Not, well, just that way off. Depends how you're looking at me. Sort of north, where are we? North-east of Atlanta. Sort of, just around there. Who else we've got? Philip, Chris, Kevin, Jake, Pam, Connor, boom, Paul and Nerd. I think we've caught up. Yes, happy days. Scotty, hello, Scotty. So tonight, as I've said, it's the Craft Rum Club. We're going to be doing a few cocktails and a few sort of mixed drinks from the magazine. I'm going to talk you through it. But that probably won't last for the whole show. So we'll freestyle it probably after about an hour or so. I'm guessing. I don't know. We'll see how far this goes. But the reason why there is... Sorry, there's nothing there. The reason why there is no guests is because I've got a couple of extra special shows, special videos dropping. Should be this month. Well, the first one is tomorrow. Tomorrow is Goldstone. I was actually with them a couple of weeks ago down at their distillery. We've shot a 45-minute video podcast because YouTube's now got podcasts. So we've got a 45-minute video podcast, me kind of interviewing bits cut away from the distillery. I think it's a really good chat, actually. I'm really kind of impressed with how it came out. So you get to learn about a small business startup, their passions, why they're doing it. You've got to remember they're only 3 months old. And where are we? 3 months and 9 days old, I think they are. So a very, very new distillery. So that will be dropping tomorrow over on my other channel, Steve the Barman Rum Reviews. Scratch Mondays, isn't it? But this Friday coming, I am actually with Fads, who was due to come on last week, but a close friend got taken ill, so he wasn't going to come on anyway. But I'm with Fads, who is the global brand ambassador for Plantation Rum, and Nick from Identity, who imports Plantation into the UK. They're doing a tasting. They've invited me to go along and film it and be part of it and all that. So hopefully... I'll get him to do a little bit on the SMOKY as well, but I can kind of talk you through a little bit. But it'll be a general sort of plantation video. Lots of banter. Paul McFadden is... Paul, when I say Fads, by the way, if any of you have got a bottle of OFTD, that is Fads right there. If you look on there. So he's the global brand ambassador for Maison Franc, actually. So they send him all around the world, chatting about... Plantation Rum, chatting about Maison Franc cognac. I don't know whether he does a bit of cognac, but a little bit of Citadel gin as well, but mainly Plantation Rum. That's his thing. So when that'll drop, I don't know, because that'll be on Friday night, and I won't get a chance to edit that probably until the following week. So I don't think that'll, unless it's just a clean sort of top and tail, start and stop sort of thing video, then it probably won't go out for a good week or so afterwards. But it should be good because we're all good friends, me, Paul and Nick, so it should be plenty of banter, plenty of good fun. You might even see me shaking up a few cocktails. So that is why there is no live guests tonight. Going forward, I might actually do that if we've got people in the UK that I can actually spend time with, because it's so much better me being in person. I love the chat. I love the interview. We just bounced off each other, Goldstone Rum. So I'm really looking forward to you guys seeing that tomorrow. Donna was there as well from the Craft Rum Club. You'll kind of see her sort of just wandering around in the background there while we're chatting away. So yes, that will be really, really good. So this month in the Craft Rum Club, for those of you that are joining, for those of you that haven't got the magazine, let me just show you what you got in the old magazine. Hang on, if I get the other, oh, I forgot to get the camera up. There we go, so I can do that. There we go. Right, so you can see what's come in the box. So this is, which way round are we? That's the Goldstone. So you've got the 2 bottles of Stratford Soda Citrus. You've got these crisps. I'm going to get these crisps out in a minute. These crisps are flipping amazing. Tucking on them. You've got some syrups, and then with the Plantation Smoky formula, you've got Britvic pineapple. You've got some agave. I think that's the right way around. Yes, agave. So you've got those in the box. Now, I want to make a little caveat disclosure here right at the top, because this is not my favourite rum. I absolutely adore that. But some of you might, well, I think the Discord community kind of know my feelings on smoky stuff. I do not like smoky whiskey. I cannot handle that at all. And this is just a bit too much for me. That's no reflection on the rum. I just really don't like smoky stuff. I'm not a huge mezcal fan either for that, because mezcal gives you those sort of inherent sort of smoky traits. So for me, this is a bit of hard work this week. But that is no reflection of the rum. It's just me personally on the Plantation, the smoky formula. So just kind of, for those of you that don't know, it's a very, it is probably one of, let's just talk about this for a second. It is one of the most authentic, or if not the most authentic, pineapple rum on the market. There's no flavourings, there's no colourings, there's no, anything else going on. It's just pure pineapple. How they make it, I should have got these ready actually. It's very much a tale of two halves. There we go. So what they do, stay, Equiano, stay, get up there. That's what they do. So what they do, they get pineapples, and they used to get bartenders over to Maison France in France. I don't know whether they still do that. It was very much pre-COVID. They used to get bartenders over there every year, kind of peeling and topping and tailing the pineapples for this. But I don't know whether they still do that. I don't know whether they've got a workforce doing it for them now, or whether bartenders still go over. There is a trip to Plantation in April. It might be that. I don't know. But anyway, what they do, they get proper fresh pineapples. They kind of peel them. So they take the top off, get rid of the tops, and then they peel them. The rinds get infused with the 3 stars. So the rinds go in the 3 stars. Then the fruit gets macerated in the OD. And I don't know actually how long, to be honest. I generally don't know that. But then what they do is, when it's all infused, when it's all ready to go, they blend the 2 together. And that's how they get the pineapple, what's it called? Stiggins Fancy. So that's how that rum comes about. Now, how this came about, I think, I've read the Craft Rum Club, and I think there's an extra step that may be missing. I might have got this wrong, but I don't know. If you remember back to 2018, I think this was, Plantation did loads of barrel swaps, whiskey finishes. And I think this all started because of that. I think they got a Teeling barrel to do one of their main rums. I think. Don't hold me to that. There was definitely 4 whiskey finishes that they did that I know of. I think it was 2018, early doors 2018. So I think that's how it started life. But they had the Teeling barrels. Anyway, whichever way you want to look at it, they've basically got Teeling Irish whiskey barrels, and then they've kind of aged the pineapple in those Teeling barrels for a length of time to give it that smoky sort of vibrancy going on. So that's where that came in. But if you're a whiskey fan, if you've not paid any attention to this, then Teeling actually got those barrels back, and then they've actually aged some of their Irish whiskey in those pineapple casks. So you've got a whole kind of circular thing going on with the aging, which is really, really cool. So if you like whiskey, you should be able to get the pineapple barrel whiskey finish, whatever they've called it, the Stiggins whiskey barrel off there. Now, this is a limited edition, but there is still plenty left. I don't know whether that's because they made a ton of it or whether it just didn't sell. I don't know. Again, when we say limited edition, Plantation have got the capabilities to do a lot. We're not talking like Foursquare, like a couple of thousand bottles. We are talking a lot of bottles. So yeah, when I say limited edition, I don't mean rare. I just mean probably it was a one-off kind of thing. So yeah, how many bottles were done, I generally don't know. So that is the kind of story behind that. I'm going to dive into some cocktails, but I'm just going to give you a little bit of that way on Goldstone in a second. But I will come back and just check the comments, because this is an interactive show after all, isn't it? What do we get to? I said hello to Scott. So we've got Jamie, we've got Steve, Havana Steve. Hello. Is that the normal Stiggins? That's the normal Stiggins. Scott, I think you've kind of explained that. Plantation videos sound like it'd be fun. How much smoky taste? So I'll have a little taste. Actually, let's do this now. So, no, that's that. My video's gone. I think my video's just frozen. If you can hear me, I know you can hear me. Hang on, let me try and get the video back. I don't know why the video killed. Oh, God, what's going on in the world? Checking. No, that's Discord. Bear with me 2 seconds. Waiting for camera, waiting for connection. I might have to... Flipping hell. What's going on here? Right, hang on, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I know you can hear me. That's absolutely fine. Let's just disconnect that and put that back on. Has that done anything? Oh, flipping Nora, what's going on? I'm really, really sorry, folks. I know you can hear me. Hey, there we go. We are back. Jesus Christ. Do you know what? I always make a point of updating everything before I go live. Literally about 6 o'clock, I make sure, because I use Firefox, because I've got no add-ons or extensions or anything on Firefox, so it's the lightweight browser that I've got. I make sure all the software is updated, and then something still happens. Anyway, let's cut back to it. So I'm just happy to see the Stratford sodas in this box. I didn't like the Soffles. These Soffles, bitter crisps. I love them. Actually, I won't eat them because they're kind of chewy, and I won't be able to talk for ages. Robert, hello, Robert. The Smoky Stiggins is not that smoky in my opinion. Not even close to mezcals. This is, for me, this is flipping smoky. This just reeks of Lafroig for me, which is my least favourite. When Lagavulin, I flipping hate them. So, if we're talking about the tasting, it's a paid-for tasting event up near me, so there will be an audience there as well. It's kind of a charity thing that Identity Drinks are laying on. Teeling did a rum cask as well. Yeah, kind of just explain that. Don't like cigarettes or cigars. Naked string. Right. So I think there's a lot of... It's upgrade, but for once that wasn't my internet. There we go. Right. So these tasting. Where did we get to? I think I downed. Let's get another glass. This is definitely the smoky one. Whew, yeah. Let's get another pineapple. So right. So side by side, the smoky formula. It's just it's just. I really don't like it. I really don't, because I cannot handle Lafroig or anything like that. I just cannot handle smoky stuff. And this is just smoky on steroids. It really is for me. Whereas the actual normal pineapple is just delicious. I mean, it's absolutely lovely. I love this stuff. It's gorgeous. It's juicy. The rum's forward on it. You don't lose the ABV at all. I'm assuming I'm still live, aren't I? The comments have stopped. My live stream has stopped there. If I am still live, give me a comment or two. Yeah, no, that is right. There we go. That's fine. That's fine. Sorry, my iPad's just frozen as well there. There we go. So, huge gulf between smoky pineapple and Lafroig, which is about the most extreme example of smoked spirit. Yeah, for a lot of you, it might well be, but For me, I mean, between the two, this is just smoke on steroids for me, and that's the thing. You know, that's why everyone's got a different palate. I know full well that to a lot of people, this is really, really smoky. So for you whiskey heads that like a bit of smoke, that's absolutely fine. I'm just saying I don't like smoke. Right. So there's not a huge gulf at all between them. There's just smoky. So there we go. Right. Thanks, Roy. There we go. There was a slight jingling of glasses as Mr. Stiggins stirred the rum and water, and the noise was the quality of hot water. Right, yeah. So, I'll give it a go. Yeah, it's. I just get those peated, smoky whiskey kind of vibes off it, and it's no reflection on the Craft Rum Club. It's no reflection on that. I just personally don't like smoky rum, so that's kind of my opinion on that. I appreciate that for a lot of you, you will like it. You do like your smoky stuff, but for me, I'm really not a fan of that. And anyone that knows that's put Lafroig in front of me. The penicillin, I had to do an event just pre-COVID where one of the cocktails they wanted was the penicillin, and it was my worst night ever. Just banging out these penicillin cocktails. It was just horrible. I was not in there at all. So that's that. Now, to go, so I will make these cocktails up in a second. Now, Goldstone, I'm sure Johnny and Gina won't mind me saying at all, but you guys got a very different bottle supposedly to what I got. I've got 001. I've got batch 1 there, but I did get sent batch 2 as well. Now, my feedback on batch 1, it was a little bit on the sweet side. Now, John and Gina, John doesn't add, as you will find out tomorrow, John doesn't add sugar to his rum at all. And they've got, where's the white? I've got so many bottles of Goldstone here. So that's the white, which I really, really like. I've got my own special 50% ABV version of that as well. I've got spiced down here, which the video has been shot, and that will drop in a few weeks' time as well. We've got the lime and ginger to film as well. Now, but for the gold, or the amber, I should say, the amber, because they've just started, because they are 3 months old, they haven't got time to age their rum. But of course, as a business, you know, they need to sell rum. They need to sell liquid. So what John has done, he's an ex-chef, and he's made his homemade caramel. So he can kind of gauge the sweetness for that. And that's what, there's a little tiny bit of homemade caramel gone into that just to kind of give it the colour. Now, for me, my feedback straight to John off when he sent me the bottle, and I'm open and honest. He asked me for the feedback. I said it was a little bit too sweet because it was a shame, because I really, really like that white rum. I really do. The rum is actually a blend of 4 sugars, which you'll find out tomorrow. I won't give you any more knowledge. It's there for you tomorrow. But it's actually a blend of 4 sugars. But then the amber is just that rum with a tiny, tiny bit of caramel, which for me does mask the inherent traits of that rum. I really do like that rum. Still very drinkable, still bang on point for where the market is. And it has got that sort of sugarcane juice vibe to it still, but it's more pronounced in the white, which I kind of like off there. And that's just, it's a little bit dialed back. I just prefer the white. I really do prefer the white. I really do. I'm on a mission. People say you can't drink white rum, neat, and that's a load of rubbish these days, because you've got brand new stills, you've got brand new ferments, you've got brand new yeast strains. Anyone that tells you can't drink white rum neat is lying through the backside. Might not be to their tastes, which is absolutely fine, but there's some banging white rums off the still. Really is. So that's the sort of knowledge. As I say, there's plenty more knowledge dropping in the next few weeks of this. But for now, I'm going to do the cocktails. Let's put that back on the shelf. Up there. Let's put the 50% ABV version down there. And let's just dive into the comments before we get any further. No, that's absolutely fine. Right, so cocktail time. Well, the first one are mixers, which is going to be fun. So the Goldstone Highball. Let's do that first. Let's get this out of the way. That's the old the citrus mixer. I won. I've got my 2 bottles left. There we go. 2 bottles. So we are just going for the Stratford soda, bar spoon of mint syrup, and a bit of mint peel in here. So let's go for this one. Let's get my old ice. I've had a rejig. I've got my ice down here now. Perfect. So, banging. I want number 2. Batch 1. There we go. Batch number 2. So this one is the Goldstone Highball. We're going 50ml. UK double bubble. Lovely, jubbly. We are going for, which one is that? That should be the mint. We're going for a little, you can use fresh mint, of course you can. There is one cocktail, maybe 2 in here that I might have to adjust with, because one doesn't make sense if some of you have played with this. Right, I'm just going to do a little, about 3 or 4 ml of mint syrup in there. Twist the lemon peel, we don't need that, that's absolutely fine. And then the Stratford sodas. Bin. Right, and 100 ml, so half the bottle of that, which is about there. There we go. That's half the bottle. So that's how your drink should look with half a bottle, and that's how it actually does look with half a bottle. Oh, I love winding people up. Right. So we've basically got a 2-to-1 ratio in that. I mean, it's delicious. It is absolutely delicious. I really do like that. The citrus, you don't lose the citrus. Actually, you really don't lose the rum in that at all. I actually do get that sort of sugarcane juice sort of taste that comes through there. That's really, really nice. Big fan of that. I've got so many knowledge bombs to drop to you about Goldstone. I want to refrain because it will come out in the video tomorrow, but there's some exciting stuff with Goldstone as well. But this is delicious like this. Yeah, big fan of that. So, Ian Burrell. Here's another rant as well. No matter how many times Burrell... Has my camera gone again? No, we're back. No matter how many times Ian goes on TV, and no matter how many times he corrects them, everyone always gets his so. I don't know why people always say Burrell. Titchmarsh said it this morning. Lovejoy always says it. No matter how many times Ian corrects him, it's always Burrell. Ian Burrell. It's not. It's Ian Burrell. Bless Ian. Ian, you should be more forceful. You should tell him my name's flipping Burrell. Right. So we're going for the pineapple. We're going for the pineapple. So we are going again 50 and 50. Let's do this. Don't move that fast. Your internet can't keep up. I tell you, I would say it's not the internet. We've got 100 gig internet here. This is actually the tablet, the software, the update thingy bob on here. Right, Smoky. Let's put that one away because otherwise I'll start using that, and I'll be like, oh, this tastes really good, and it's actually the proper pineapple. Right, there we go. We are up there. Right, Smoky formula. 50ml of that. Lovely jubbly. And then that's what's gone in this? Agave, isn't it? Agave, bar spoon, or lime juice. There we go. So half a bottle of the old Posh Britvic. There we go. All right, nearly 2/3 of a bottle of Posh Britvic. Right, this is the agave nectar from Witch Kings. Right, bar spoon again. So we're just going. I'm not overly sure you need the agave in this, to be honest. We're just doing that, and then a bit of lime juice. Where's my lime juice? I've got some lime juice here. Right, and a bar spoon of lime juice as well. So just about that. Perfect. There we go. Right. Give it a stir. Right, and this is just called Mr. Stiggins. See, the smoke comes forward in that. My camera's frozen again, isn't it? No, there we go. Woohoo! It's again, I get the smoke off that, and I'm just, you know, I think the normal pineapple would be lovely. Again, I don't think you need the agave in there. That's not a dry, or it's not a sweet soda, but it's definitely not a dry soda either. It's like, it's not old Jamaica sweetness, if you like. That is lovely. It's nice. I just don't like the smoky aftertaste. So yeah. So that's that. Right. That's those two recipes. Now we get on to cocktail time. So we are going. This is the smoky old fashioned. This is going to be quite funny. So that's that's this one here. We're going to do that one next. The signature serve. Right. So this should be stirred. Are we stirring down? Yeah, we're stirring down. Now, obviously, I haven't got any Pedro Jimenez sherry here, so you know full well what's coming out in this. So I'm going to do 50 ml of the smoky. There. Right, 15 ml of Pedro Jimenez. Two guesses what's coming out. Dos Madeiros. Dos Madeiros. We don't have sherry. When you don't need sherry when you've got bottles of Dos Madeiros lying around. Right, 15 ml of that. I'm going to go 10. I'm going to go 10, I think. There we go. 10 ml of that. 15 ml of sugar syrup. Woohoo! 15 ml of sugar syrup. I'm going 10 of sugar syrup again. There we go. So dial those backs and a dash of Angostura bitters. Let's leave that there. Let's leave a screen, my monitor. What's going on? See, my iPad's properly frozen again. I don't know what's going on with the stream this week. Right. A dash of Angostura bitters. There we go. Give it some ice cubes. And we're just going to give it a good old stir. Right. So this is the Stiggins Smoky Old Fashioned. There's two things in here that I'm not a big fan of. Sherry and smoke. Right, there we go. Right, that'll do. Let's put that in there. Let's just use, waste not, want not. Let's use a couple of these ice cubes just for this. There we go. Lovely jubbly. Magicals. Right. Magicals. So. Sherry on the nose. So at least it's not as pronounced as like Harvey's Bristol Cream or something like that. Pedro Jimenez. Bit of smoke on the nose. It's quite sweet. And that was only with 10 ml. So the recipe was 50 ml of Plantation Smoky formula, 15 ml of Pedro Jimenez, 15 ml of sugar syrup, and a dash of Angostura bitters. What I've done is 50 ml, 10 ml of Dos Madeiros, which won't be as sweet. It's still quite sweet, but won't be as sweet as the Pedro Jimenez. I've got 10 ml of sugar syrup instead of 15, and I actually put 2 dashes of Angosturas in here. And that is still quite sweet for me, actually. It's actually kind of a, do you know what though? It's actually kind of a nice balance of flavour. The Dos Madeiros does kill off the smoke a little bit. I don't think I would have been a fan of that with proper sherry in there, but the Dos Madeiros in there, I think actually does work. If any of you have made these comments, made these cocktails, let me know what you think about in the comments. Right, this one actually calls for Lagavulin. Now I don't have Lagavulin, but I have got smoke and oak bitters, so we're going to do that. But I have actually got the glass here as well. This is the smoky Mai Tai. So this is going to be a shaken cocktail. We'll have a clean up in a minute. And I have actually got the glass it comes in, or the tiki mug it comes in. Look at that. Team Plantation. Where are we? Wrong way around. There we go. Team Plantation. Look at that. Right. So this one is 40 ml of the Stiggins. Hang on, we're shaking, aren't we? 40 ml of the Stiggins. 40. That reminds me, I need to bash the bottom of these barfly shakers, don't I? Keep forgetting about that. Right, 40 ml of that. 10 ml of Lagavulin. Right, I haven't got Lagavulin, but I'm going to humour. I've got smoke and oak bitters. So what I'm going to do a dash about that. If you can see that, yeah, we can see that. There we go. Look, about a dash of smoke and oak bitters. That won't be anything close to Lagavulin, but it will give kind of that sort of ish vibe, if you know what I mean. Right, 30 ml of fresh lime juice. I think we're there now. Yeah, 30 ml of fresh lime juice. Right, 30. We are doing 15 ml of. I haven't said it for ages, have I? Orgeat. Right, 15 ml of. Oh, wrong end. 15 ml of orgeat. Lovely jubbly. Right, 15 ml of Pierre-Ferrand. I think I've actually got a little bit left over of that. No, let's do my orange blend. We'll do the orange blend. Right, 15 ml of this 1.5. So this is a blend of Pierre-Ferrand, Compañero, and Fortunella. That's what that is. 15 ml of that, 5 to 10 ml of sugar syrup to taste. I'm going without the sugar syrup to start off with. We shall see. We shall see. Right. This might be a shake and dump into Mark's glass. There we go. Here we go, Mr. Oh no, we're doing. Sorry, I forgot about that. I thought I was automatically thinking my tie then. We've got the glass there, haven't we? Right. Shake, shaky, shaky. Right, there we go. Ice is broken down enough. Hopefully that should. Yeah, perfect. Right. There we go. Magic, 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 magic. Right. Do we need any ice, any sugar in that? No. But that is quite nice. I actually quite like that. I really do like that. What's your favourite tiki mug? You lot don't want to see them, do you? My favourite tiki mugs are actually on the Drink Stuff channel. Those new ones are amazing. Behind, which side are they at? They'll be on the Drink Stuff videos. They'll be there. The two shelves there, I think. They've got some amazing ones there now. I actually really do like that. God knows what the old Lagavulin would have done to that. Or Lefroy. I think there's enough in it to kind of mask the sort of smokiness that I really don't like. Yeah, that's my favourite so far. That is actually, sweetness-wise, that's perfectly balanced for me without the sugar syrup. So there's no sugar. So if you can kind of see the recipe on there. I don't want to play about with this too much, just in case it has another fit, but there we go. Right, so you can kind of see the recipe there a little bit. So we've got this smoky, 40 ml of smoky, 10 ml of Lagavulin, 30 ml of lime, 15 of orgeat, 15 of Pierre-Ferrand, and 5 to 10. So I've basically done that without the sugar syrup. I definitely don't think you need 10 ml of sugar syrup in there, and then without the old Scotch. Right, one more, perfect. Yeah, my favourite. That's lovely. I could guzzle that. I haven't had a Mai Tai for ages. And pineapple Mai Tais are amazing. I think the almond in that, the orgeat, and the lime. Do you know what I'm going to do? I don't think there's one in here. I want to do a daiquiri. Yeah, there's not one in here. I'm going to do a pineapple daiquiri for giggles. Because I think this, I just want to try it as a daiquiri. I just want to try it, don't I? Dax, pineapple Dax. Right, I tell you what. When the first time I had pineapple that one properly. I think one of their signature serves is a grapefruit daiquiri, and they kind of do split lime and split grapefruit juice in there, and that was amazing. So, and that was at Lackey Cane down in London when I had that. It's basically Stiggins, lime and grapefruit juice, and then sugar, and it was absolutely belting. That right. Let's do a DAC. Right, 5, 2, and 1.5. 5, 2, 1.5. Right, there we go. Right, boom. Right. Oops, wrong way around. There we go. Smoky DAC. I'm intrigued how that sort of lime and almond has sort of killed off the smoke. I'm intrigued. Right. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Lovely. Who was it? Damien. Oh, Damien's in the US. Damien won't be on now. Damien Hull in our membership, in our Discord community, was not having much love with the daiquiri overnight, about 4 in the morning. And I think that's why I explained. I think with the daiquiri, I've debunked this so many times. You know, people don't like the daiquiri. If you just use a bit of ice and just kind of do that. Sorry, I know that's on the microphone. Just kind of do that, and that's it. You know, you're not getting a dilution. You're not getting the full effect of the chill on there as well. You've got to shake the daiquiri really hard and get that dilution in there. But so what did I do? I did 50. Right, that's a 5.25 ounce Nick and Nora, I think. So that'll be, where are we? 155 mil, say. I've added, what, where are we? 50, 60, 70, 85 mil of liquid. So, in theory, you know, you're thinking just the liquid alone, that'll be down here. Watch how full this glass gets, all right? Right, there you go. You see all that? Frost, proper frostlet on the fingernails. That's what you want to get. Right, and then double strain. This just makes daiquiri so much better. So much better. Right. There we go. Half of it still is in the strainer. Got really fine strainer. There we go. So there's still quite a bit in the still kind of there in the strainer. So you can see 155 mil. I've probably got, there's probably about 125 mil of liquid in there. So I've added about 25 to 35 mil of ice, of dilution. All right. Daiquiri. Oh, I do like that. Oh, I do like that. That's interesting. The smoke doesn't come through. Hang on a second. Hang on a second. I'm confused now. Let me just have a little wash up. I'm going to make a normal pineapple daiquiri. We've got to do this. It's the show. It's the experiment it shows. This one's just got a little bit of dust. Let's just get rid of that. Right. Let's make a normal little daiquiri. Let's get this. Right. Right. 5. 5. 2. And 1.5 for the old sugar. 1.5. Lovely, jubbly. Right, ice, baby. It's, Robert. No, it's not strong. It's strong neat. I mean, it's 100. But is that the right one? Yeah, I don't know what rum's in there. It is. I mean, it's for me. It's huge, neat. The smoke that comes off that. It's almost, yeah, it's way smoky neat, but actually when you mix it, perhaps not. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at the frost on that. Right, this Nick and Nora is slightly bigger, I think. This one, slightly bigger, just so might not fill up quite as much. Oh, daiquiri night, innit? Okay, right. So, the battle of the pineapple daiquiris. Fresh. It's just like eating a alcoholic pineapple. 100% per. I do. It's a huge difference in taste. Huge difference. I do quite like that. Don't get me wrong. But the normal stiggins, I love the normal stiggins in this. Mm. Oh. Oh. Yeah, that's lovely. Lovely, lovely. Right. Al Ho's in the house. Hello. Al Ho. I like to forego the additional syrup more orge. Yeah, Christopher. Right. Hemingway with smoky rum. Smoky rum and maraschino. Interesting. In a Hemingway. Interesting. Last year's daiquiri from NRB was good. Oh, yeah. Which one they had? Yeah. Oh ho, give us some welly for 10 to. You know the drill. Yes. You know the drill. I haven't said that phrase, have I? Was an overstep for a grapefruit daiquiri. Mezcal smoke doesn't totally vanish in cocktails like that. That's what I meant. Right. It's a weird. I like it. I do like the smoky dac. There's it's obviously smoke. I was going to say there's a weird aftertaste. It is obviously the smoke notes coming off there. It's a very different taste. This is just light, fresh. It's like pineapple juice. This one. Oh, I could drink that all night. That's so good. Oh, that's so good. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to lean over and just wash down for 2 seconds. Because the next cocktail coming up does need a little bit of debunking. I'm not sure if this is a typo again. There was a couple of typos in last month. Well, I'm assuming there was a couple of typos. It didn't really work last month. This one, hang on. Where's the base of the shaker over there? There we go. Do the old Cornish blue. Right. Let's wash this up and get rid of this one. Because that's a wobbly bottom, isn't it? Wobbly bottom. Let's get that one. Is that one wobbly? That's better. Right. Yes. Wash that. That. So where are we? We are doing. Put those there. We are doing. Sorry. I suppose the Hemingway would have added smoke by lighting up a cigar. Right. The next one we're up. This is quite interesting, and I'll zoom into this. I'm going to give a bonus point if anyone can spot what I think is wrong with this. So, pineapple colada, that's the recipe. I'm going to give a bonus point to the first one that comes where my head is. All right, so 50 ml of smoky, 50 ml of stiggins, basically, 100 ml of pineapple juice, 10 ml of lime, 10 ml of sugar syrup. Right. Yeah, you're kind of on my wavelength. When you say colada to me, I'm kind of thinking coconut. I would naturally assume coconut, and there's no coconut in that. Now, knowing Plantation and knowing Nick and Fads really well, they always do rock out pineapple Stiggins coladas. It's one of their go-to drinks. It's just easy. They'll have it on a slush popping machine sometimes. They'll be banging them out. And it's always Real, which is effectively that going into it. And it wouldn't surprise. I think that is what that's meant to be. I think there's a line missing in there. I think it's coconut that's missing. So I am going to do, because for me there is, I mean, the smoky. Let's be honest. The pineapple colada there is actually no different to really what that is there. All right. The only difference is that is fizzy, and that isn't. So I'm actually going to do what I think the cocktail should be. All right. So this is what I think the what's it called? The pineapple colada. This is how I think the pineapple colada should go. What's Pam saying? Listening to Steve and taste those daiquiris were like listening to a porno. Pam. What you and your husband get up to, Pam, in your own private house is on you. You know, don't bring us into your illicit sort of Sunday night shenanigans. It's like Katie and Dan celebrating their 1 year anniversary, isn't it? We don't want to know what they're up to tonight. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's so good. Sorry, Pam. Oh, what's that say? I can't say your name properly. The fourth Norse, is that? Yes. Is the plantation coconut the fourth Norse? Is plantation coconut coming to UK? We have it on good authority. It is. How they've done it, we don't know, because the original, obviously cut and dry, was Barbados coconuts. And we know for a fact there aren't enough coconuts on Barbados to make enough coconut cut and dry to go around the world. So how they've done it, I don't know. Whether they've imported coconuts from somewhere, which I would imagine is what's happening, I don't know. But there are rumours that cut and dry is going to be an international permanent release, if you like. It should be, because it's really, really good. But it's just, you know, where are they getting the coconuts from? Because that was the whole thing about cut and dry. That was why it was only available on Barbados, because they actually cut the rum. They actually cut the rum back with coconut water from the coconuts. So in your head, you know, you've got to understand that there isn't that many coconuts on Barbados to actually make that rum. So they will have obviously imported coconuts from somewhere. So word on the street is, yes, it's coming. All right. Hope that helps. So we are going for the old, my version of the pineapple colada here. Now, I could have done this two ways. I have actually, that's just reminded me, I have actually got a bottle of, I was going to use Katie and Dan's. Hang on. Oh! I was going to use the tropical, that's where my head was beforehand. I was going to actually use the tropical soda in this. I don't think I am. I think I'm actually going to go proper coconut puree in here. So I'm going to do, what we've done, we've done 50 ml of rum. I'm going to do 25 ml of coconuts. So if you've got, you guys in the US, this is like Real. We can get Real here in the UK. It's just, this is my go-to sort of coconut. Coconut puree. 50% coconut, 50% sugar. Works. I think it's 50-50, isn't it? Oh, someone can update me on that. I can't be bothered to read all that in Italian and find the English best before blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I can't be bothered to read all that. Someone can update me. Basically, it's more coconutty than Real. Okay, so we got that. We've got a coconut. We are gonna. I haven't got much pineapple juice in here actually. I forgot. I am actually going to use. Be a bit wrong, but pretend this is pineapple juice. There we go. Pretend that's pineapple juice. Right, sugar syrup. Do I need sugar syrup? No, because I've got the coconut. Fresh lime. I do need 10 ml. You always need about 10 ml of lime in your pina coladas. And you could add salt. Salt, I'm a big fan of salt in a pina colada. I know Windy, I don't know whether Windy's here, but I know Windy loves his salt, but, you know, I was going to say take that with a pinch of salt. pina coladas with a touch of salt or saline solution are fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So do that. So this is what I think should be in the magazine. What's going on there? Water. There we go. Right. There we go. Lovely. Right, what are we serving this up in? What have we got? Let's just use that. There we go. Do love my baked bean can with a handle. Boom. Straw. So if you look at the photo, you can almost see, I reckon there's, on screen, here we go. If you look at the photo, it even looks like there's coconut in there. I reckon that's been flash blended. Whoopsie, there we go. So yeah, I don't think you need sugar syrup in that. Fantastic pina coladas. Again, you can't taste the smoke. I know the normal Stiggins would be even more pineapple forward because it is more pineapple forward than that. But it's fantastic. That. Oh, that's so good. Christopher, just do Real, mate. Honestly, they are. I do prefer ODK purely because for me they that way up, whereas Real are stored that way up, and you can get a bit messy. I do like them. I like the flavour, but they are Real. Whereas Real's slightly different. You can almost just use Real, just sort of squeeze and go. With some of these, for instance, what should we get out? What shall we get out? Passion fruit, for instance. I love the passion fruit, but sometimes you just need to balance these out with a little bit of sugar because they are flavour forward, not sweetness forward. Whereas Real, you could just literally squeeze the pineapple in there, the passion fruit in there, and it's ready to go. They're not all like that. The coconut, you can just have it as is. Banana, you can just have as is. The apricot, I think you might need a little bit of sugar to balance that out. The blood orange and the grapefruit, again, I think you might need a bit of sugar to balance out. Strawberry's fine, ready to go as it is. They're all just different, but we get loads of different flavours, and they're so good, so good. Very different drinks. But they're the two biggies for the night. And I think the last one I can actually make tonight is, is the espresso with the gold rum, with the Goldstone. Hang on. Yeah, that's right. I just thought I've done a lot of pineapple cocktails here tonight. No, really. So we've got the Goldstone espresso martini. Now again, I've got coffee here ready to go. I will explain something though. Hang on. Here we go. So that is the recipe for Goldstone. Now the Goldstone coffee spirit drink. For those of you that don't know, that is nothing even remotely like a Kahlua or Tia Maria or Mr. Black. What that is, it's just you can tell the gas, you can tell that sugar, the gas is getting me now. What I actually coffee spirit drink from Goldstone is, it's actually rum, just infused with coffee beans. Now, they openly admit, and again, I like to be brutally honest with people. It needs work. And even John said that it does need work, that coffee spirit drink. So don't think that is a like for like what you do. If I was going to make that, my recipe would be completely different because of that. It's just basically going to use an espresso martini with rum instead of vodka. That's all we do with that. And the sugar, I don't think 25 ml of sugar syrup. I don't think you'd need sugar syrup with that. I'm intrigued though. Shall I do right? If I get 10 thumbs up. Right, I've never done this, and I'm really inquisitive because I've got espresso ready to go here. If I get 10 thumbs up in the comments, shall I make a pineapple espresso martini? I've never done it, and I'm curious. I want 10 comments, 10 thumbs up comments to get me a Stiggins espresso martini. If not, right, there's one. I'll try that. Just for pure clarity, I can't do the other two cocktails in the magazine because one's got coconut water in it, and the other, no, I haven't got coconut water, and the other one's got prosecco, and I don't have prosecco here, so I can't do that. But it's a pineapple and ginger daiquiri, which is going to be, I've done daiquiris, which is going to be amazing. And then the Calais Goldstone, which is Goldstone rum, cacao, lime, bitters. See, I know that's just not going to be up my street. Oh, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're at 9. It's not going to happen. Oh, Bingo's got a down. Oh, Paul and Nerd's come in with a 10. Oh, actually, Bingo's, you know, if we're balancing out, that's on 9. And what one more like? There we go. Well done, the Norse. Right, we're going to do that. Right, so, hang on. Let me just show you this recipe. This I probably wouldn't even make anyway because that is not on my wavelength at all. Doesn't matter what the rum is. Rum, chocolate, lime, bitters, prosecco. No, thank you. No. That is not me. I wouldn't even have Sprite or lemonade with that instead of prosecco. That's just a no from me. Cacao. It's just not on my radar. That cocktail. Yeah. I was looking at it thinking, how can I change that up? But yeah, I wouldn't. I think, how can I change that up? And the old, hang on, while I was there, the old lime and ginger daiquiri, which does actually look quite good. But I won't say, there's something else that will drop tomorrow. Keep your ears open for, oh, sorry. Well, that one. Keep your ears open tomorrow because something exciting is going to be dropping about that tomorrow in the video. So rum, pineapple juice, ginger, coconut water. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah, juice of half a lime. I was just going to say there's no flipping lime in there. Right. So, yeah, it's quite a fruit-forward, fruity ginger sort of daiquiri, but that will taste amazing. So listen out in tomorrow's podcast episode, should we say. Right. Let's do a Stickins. This is going to be funny, isn't it? Stickins. Hang on. This is the point now where it's always just about an hour in, the comments stop scrolling. Right, once I see Prosecco in anyway, you not like dark chocolate and lime sweets? I do, Pam. I just don't like Prosecco with them. And I don't tend to put anything fizzy, like lemonade, soda or anything with chocolate. It's just not right in my head. Don't know. Right. So, there we go. So, this is going to be a pineapple espresso martini. Right. So how I'm going to do this, what have I got? I've done 50 ml of the SMOKY. I'm going 30 ml of espresso. And I'm going to go, I've got a Luna or Mr. Black. I think I'm going to go a Luna. Right, I'm going to match it 30 ml of a Luna. So 50 ml of pineapple rum, 30 ml of a Luna, 30 ml of espresso. Right, bit of ice in there. That'll do. That was the last ice cube. Needs to get some more ice out. I have some Hawaiian coffee beans that were aged in rum barrel. Maybe you should try. Yes. See, Roberts. I know this is, I quite like it though, to be fair. Right. That, Robert, is the Bundy. This is the Australian, it's the Bundaberg, Mr. Black. I really do like that, actually. It's got that rum vibe to Mr. Black Coffee Liqueur. That's really good. Right. What am I serving this up in? Let's go for that. Let's go for that. Right. My first ever, maybe my last ever, pineapple espresso martini. What have you made me do? What have you made me do? You can add sugar to this if you want sugar. I probably won't. I reserve judgment. I don't know. Oh, look at that. Right. Got some washing up to do now, ain't I? Flo's listening. I'm doing some weird facial expressions. It tastes really flat. Weirdly, I don't get the rum. I don't get the pineapple from the rum. That tastes bizarre. That tastes so flat. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, if you like your espresso martinis, go and check Dan out. Dan in Cornwall. he did do the Parmesan espresso martini. It's a trend that's been going around, but he kind of what did he do? I forgot what he did now. He kind of did the whole umami thing without the Parmesan in it to make his version of it. It tastes like it's got no guts in it, even though it's fit. Normally I do 30, 30, 30, and I did 50, 30, 30. It just tastes like there's absolutely zero guts. It tastes like it needs a sort of a richer rum in there. Yeah, that's interesting. Not something I would normally do, but I'm going to add just a touch of sugar. Probably about 5 ml. That'll do. Where's my spoon? Oh, the sugar, yeah. All right. 5 ml of sugar brings out the pineapple a little bit. That's quite interesting, actually. That is really interesting. It's actually made it quite drinkable now. I wouldn't say the best espresso rumtini I've ever had, but that 5 ml of sugar just sort of elevates the pineapple in there. That's really fascinating. I think if you'd used Kahlua instead of... So a Luna is a little bit sweeter than Mr. Black, but not much sweeter. But Kahlua is a lot sweeter and Tia Maria is a lot sweeter. I think if you'd used Kahlua or Tia Maria, that might have kind of balanced out a little bit more. Yeah, it's just fascinating. It doesn't need more booze. I can taste the booze. Don't forget there's 50, 60, 70, 80... There's 80 ml of booze in there. Right. Sweet. No, that's... Well, I was going to say sweet potato then. What's that say? Sweet palto. Hello, sweet palto. Maybe too many flavours and it collapsed. That happens if you overblend. Yeah. Kind of did need the sugar. Hang on. Yeah, that's Dan. What did you do? Miso paste. That was it. Yeah, miso paste. crazy Dan down in Cornwall. I tell you what, the Cornish. I don't actually know whether he is Cornish, by the way. He lives down there, but I don't know whether he is actually Cornish. I don't know where he was born. Young Dan. Mummy B will be diving in for that. No. Right. Where is Mummy? where is Mummy the minesweeper? She's been off alcohol for a month. So she says. I don't believe that, but apparently she hasn't touched anything for a month or so. I don't know why. She's getting old, isn't she? So that's my little test to see if she's watching. she has I watched the live stream, and you'll kind of go back through and all that, and there'll be the iPad sort of sitting to one side while she's got TV on. She's absolutely paying no attention to what's going on at all. We'll see if her little head pokes around the door in a minute. So there we go. If anyone's got any kind of... So what I kind of said in my Discord, in my membership community, I knew this would probably only last for an hour tonight because there was no interviews, because of the cocktails in there. That's all the mixers that are done in there. We can pretty much freestyle it now for the next hour or so. So you can ask questions. You can kind of, you know, if you've got any magical kind of things that you want me to do with the SMOKY version of that, then fine. What did I do with Mummy B for Mother's Day? I treated her to a spin round the village. We were going to go out for coffee, and I said to before I got in the car, I said my tyre looks a bit flat, and I got up to the top of the road, and my beep went beep beep beep. So yeah, I drove around, pumped the tyre up, and then yeah, that was it. So I've got to go. Normally we go out on Mondays, to be fair, but I was going to take her out for coffee and whatever this morning, but yeah, that was cut short by a flat tyre. So she might not even get out tomorrow, but she does all right out of me, to be fair. We were out, where were we? We were out on Friday, I think it was. Hang on, what day is it? Did we go out yesterday? Saturday? I don't know. I've lost track. I think I took her out Friday, I think. Right, so while I'm washing up, it is question time. I've got nothing really else to say for the Craft Rum Club this month, other than these are really, really tasty. I do like these. We've got sun-dried tomato and basil, and rosemary and thyme. The sun-dried tomato and basil are delicious. Absolutely lovely. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the members scroll on just for, it's a 30-second scroll. That'll just give me time just to kind of wash up very, very quickly. Jake, I'll see that in a second, but I'm coming right back in 30 seconds, all right? Cool. That wasn't enough time, was it? But I got these washed. By the way, I'm so close to 100 members. So close. We've had four new people join this week. I think it's 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4. So yeah, 93 in the membership community now, which is flipping awesome. So welcome to you new people. But it's the funny thing. I've been chatting quite a bit. Oh, hang on. Sorry, wrong comments. There we go. Comments back. I know there's a lot of people that really don't want to get involved in the Discord community, which is absolutely fine. You know, I'm going to start rolling out more stuff on the membership tab. So for those of you watching, I don't know whether you realise or not, but there's more to anyone's YouTube channel, especially over 10,000 subscribers. If you've got over 10,000 subscribers, you've got access to stories as well. I don't know whether there's a lot of you. I think it's 500 subscribers and you get access to your community tab. But I do a lot on my community tab. There's a lot of polls. There's a lot of me winding people up and stirring and putting out claims that, well, I think I like winding people up. Like claims like aged rum. Distilleries that age rum for like 10 years are just masking the fact that they can't distill decent white unaged rum. You know, stuff like that. It's tongue in cheek, but you know there are. When you take, all right, and then to quote G here for a minute, I think G's probably signed off because he saw string and then went, I'm not getting involved in that. But if Grant's listening, you know, we've got, I know he'll be very much sugarcane juice, but my example is stuff like Paranubes, some like the Clement 50% ABV, the Cane Blue, the Rum JM. There's some, even in sugarcane juice world, there's some fantastic unaged rums. Fantastic. But there is this mindset because El Dorado have been doing it since the year dot, because Foursquare have been doing it, because Mount Gay have been doing it, because Appleton have been doing it. You know, there was this mindset that rum, you have to age in wood barrels for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years to round it all off. But I have the banter because I like white unaged rum. I have the banter that they just have to do that because their base rum off the still is just terrible. It's not, but I tell you what I have done, and hope I don't know whether Paul will have it out next week, but I've tasted distillates of Vulcan, which is WIRD's still, one of their stills. So West India Rum Distillery, the plantation, where Plantation Barbados and the XO and all that gets distilled. They've got a still there called Vulcan. And I've tasted distillates off the Vulcan still, and they are mind-blowingly good. They're so good. I think the first one I had was like 62, 63% ABV, and it's so good. I just, my palate, I really love rum off the still. And I was, even when I was at Goldstone, you know, so tomorrow, the video is dropping tomorrow. I can see all the questions. I'll come back to them. Don't worry. They were distilling lime and ginger. Now, it was the rum, the white rum in the still. They'd thrown in the lime peel. They'd thrown in the ginger in the still. And that was so, coming off the still, I think it was like 78 to 80% ABV. Coming off the still was so good. So good. That is like my palate. I love that stuff. So, you know, I'm on this big campaign to just kind of get, because everyone, and the whole reason behind that, you know, people kind of see Bacardi, you know, their reference point for white rum is Bacardi, and that's all it is. I'm not saying all white rum can be drunk neat. I'm just trying to get people open their eyes a little bit. That's all it is, because people associate white rum with Bacardi. Bacardi is not that great neat. Let's be brutally honest. So people are just like, oh no, you can't drink white rum. And I just want to open people's eyes. That's what it is, because there is some fantastic stuff with new, with molasses that are coming in, new yeast strains that people can use, wild yeast strains, new ferments, different ferments. Dunder, there's quite a few UK distillers that are using deep dunder, which is kind of the leftovers from the distilling. And they'll kind of make their own sort of dunder pit, if you like. And all that goes in to making like different rum. And I'm not just saying UK, but that's happening all around the world. There's this whole new age of distilling going on all around the world. Mexico, you know, South America, they're all doing this. So don't think that you can't drink white rum unaged. And that was the whole point of the poll. So, you know, so I've got the community tab. That was the whole point there. So I've got the community tab on my main channel. That's the what I don't really use Steve the Barman Extra and Steve the Barman Rum reviews on the community tabs and all that. I use my main channel, but there's stories on there. So if you see a little red ring around my face, there'll be stories on their Instagram. I don't really use Instagram too much. I always use YouTube stories. And my community tab where I post polls, where I post pictures and all that sort of stuff. So if you don't know that, do go and check it out. I know some of you get actually get notifications and all that, which is cool. But yeah, right. That's me washed up now. That can sit there. That can sit there. Let's tuck that in, and I can lean here and do this. Right, there we go. Let's go back to some of these questions. The first one was Jake, I think. Where did that go? Right, there it goes. Let's put this on screen and have another crisp one in. Can drinking plantations? No. Next question. Oh, nice question. Right. Sorry, eating with a mouthful. And I'm going to throw some grenades out there as well. I knew I shouldn't have those. These are really good. Really like these. So, what are my views on plantation and its possible name change? I get the history. I get why people are calling for its names to be changed. Personally, I'm not too fussed. I like the name plantation. It's been all right for like the last few years. But if they want to change, they want to change. However, they do keep registering names, different names. I think they've got in some countries they've got 10 different names registered, but there keeps being objections coming into certain names. Now, I don't know. Of course, I don't. I don't know the stories behind that, but I can naturally assume that someone is just making life difficult for Alex Gabriel and the gang at Plantation. You know, there's some people out there that just really want to make life hard for Plantation, because of Plantation's success, because of what they are, because of why they're completely different to what the Barbados GI wants to. You know, they want the GI in Barbados, and of course that probably won't ever happen because it's gone too far. If they wanted the GI, they should have done it decades ago, not now. Basically, the whole sweetness and all that sort of stuff. When you've got WIRD that produces 70 to 80% of the rum that comes out of Barbados, as the other 20%, and I'm including Foursquare in this, and even if you up Foursquare, even if you include Foursquare, St Nicholas Abbey and Mount Gay, as even if you round that up to sort of 25-30%, mate, at the absolute top level 30%, it won't be. You know, WIRD is responsible for a lot of the rum. We're talking 75%. I have seen numbers where WIRD is responsible for 85+% of the rum that comes out of Barbados. However, if you are generous and give it 70-30 split, you can't have the 30% dictating to the 70%. That's just not economical. That's just not sense. It's just, you know, it's just kind of tantrums and stamping your feet on the ground trying to get your own way. That's all that is, in my opinion. So yeah, you know, I don't know the amount of volume that comes out of Plantation that's sold worldwide, but you know, I've seen facts that have sort of claimed 85% of the Barbados rum comes out of WIRD. I don't know whether that's true, false. I can purely by the volume of the other Barbados rum that's out there, I can naturally see, like Cockspur, for instance, comes out of WIRD. You know, you've got all those brands that come out of WIRD, and you've got Foursquare, St Nick's, and Mount Gay that are trying to do yeah, doesn't make sense in my. Just crack on, do your own thing, crack on. Woo! Right. Question: did you find any gems at NRB this week? Yes, they're on my YouTube stories. There's a good shout for that. There's a couple of. It was a Mexican distillery, which was really good. Sugarcane juice, and what was the other one? Oh, Rum JM. I did a tasting with the whole Rum JM. Really like some of those. Although fascinating again. I went for the younger stuff more than I did the older stuff. Again, it's just my palate. I really like young stuff. And even the older stuff, the oldest one I tasted was 6-year-old. I just really do prefer the young stuff. But Rum JM, you can expect bigger things from Rum JM in the UK now because Spirit Bam have properly got hold of them now. So Spirit Bam, Chairman's Reserve in Clermont. So you will start to see Rum JM in a big way in the UK. And they're good. They're good rums. Sugarcane juice. Some of them are agricole, some of them are not agricole, but they're all sugarcane juice. Right. Is it too subtle for a dark and stormy pineapple? Stormy? No, that'll kind of work. I would probably prefer the normal Stiggins. I think that's what you're going for, but yeah. Right, another question. What kind of food pairings work best with Plantation Stiggins Fancy Spiced Rum? Stiggins Fancy is not a spiced rum, it's a pineapple rum. And how would it enhance to complement different dishes? I don't know. I'm not a chef. Pineapple. Will I put it with a curry? It depends the serving, doesn't it? Depends how you go. Oh, like my daiquiri. My daiquiri's my daiquiri's gone warm now, isn't it? Yeah, a little bit warm. But pre-dinner daiquiri. It's light and it just lifts the palate. Cleanses and lifts the palate. Pre-dinner daiquiri, that's as far as I'm going on that. Every meal should be lifted by a pre-dinner daiquiri. Right, Paul the Nerd. I was thinking of getting my parents, who drink bog standard Bacardi, a nice white and aged rum. Is there anything in particular I should consider? So, if you're trying to convert people, you know, it's... How can I put this nicely? I was going to use like an alcoholic or a drugs analogy then for a second. They've got to want to change as opposed to, you know, you giving them something to try. It's that they've got to want to try something new. Otherwise, they're just going to be, if they're happy with Bacardi, they're just always going to be, yeah, I like Bacardi. There's nothing wrong. However, You know, even big brands, hang on, I'll get rid of that. Oh, I'll hold them up. Wrong one, that one. Even big brands. Let's put this one out. What else have we got? I mean, I would go personally with my stuff, but I'm going to play the game here. I'll play the game. Let's hold them up. So even stuff like this: Plantation 3 stars, Chairman's Reserve White, and Diplo Planas. You know, cracking, really good rums that are so much better than Bacardi. I'm assuming they don't drink Bacardi neat, so hence I was going for the whole mixer thing anyway. But you know, those three, you know, I don't think you could go wrong with them, to be honest. There's probably blatantly one I've forgotten somewhere. Let's put that. Kingston, Dawley's, even Dawley. Do you know what? It's a weird one because when I do cocktail masterclasses, the Dawley, Duppy Share would be another one. Duppy, I've got it down here actually. Duppy, you know, Duppy for supermarket wise, Duppy's decent. It really is decent. You get lovely sort of mangoey raspberry vibes off that. It's a really decent white rum for the price. Really good. You know, I know the rum geeks are going to be like, you know, do this, do that, but you know, you can't go wrong with that sort of stuff. So there's 4 decent, cheaper ones. I've got some belting UK stuff that I really do love to sip neat, but you know, I'll save that for Mondays. Right, Claire, if you had a tiny pub in the middle of nowhere with very little space, what rums would you have? What rums? Oh, personal consumption or So, pubs is a very different mentality because pubs are all about making money. So it can't be a passion project because you've got to have stuff that will sell. Okay, first rule. You can't go down a route where you sort of have Equiano. You know, you can't go down a route where you maybe have Ninefold. You can't be listing Ron Cube because your customers are going to walk in with little to no knowledge and go, oh no, I don't want that. You know, it's not recognised brands. It really isn't. So if you're running a pub, it's all about money. It's all about cash converters. It's all about recognised brands. So what I would actually do, and I'm getting that purely because people will start to recognise Santiago 8 in supermarkets, and 8 is all over. I would go the 11 because then you've got an instant story with people. You can sort of say to people, "Oh, have you seen the 8-year-old in Tesco's and Sainsbury's and Morrison's? This is even better. You know, it's 3 years older, so you can have that conversation. And obviously, you charge more. You know, your 8-year-old is whatever £7. That can be £9. So you have that conversation. What else will people recognise? Again, after tasting that on the taste along a few weeks ago, I think that's cracking. But people will look at that, they might be swayed by the wonky bottle, but and on the whole, they'll be like, "I've never heard of that. I'm not drinking it." And that's just how life is. So we would then go to something. I think you can get away with Plantation. I do think Plantation has got a bit of a name for itself out there. And I think, again, the Plantation XO, I think is a good cash converter. I don't even think, right. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I've just seen, you're stupid again, because it's a pub, because you're all about making money. You're stupid if you don't have a premium like Diplo like that. It's just going to make you money because people see it in the supermarkets, in Waitrose, in wherever, Tesco's, I think I have it. And they're like, oh, yeah, let's have it. You would have your Bamboo. Of course you would. As I say, this cannot be a passion project. You cannot run a business and just stock rums that you like. You have to think what would sell. And you haven't got time to stand there and chat to every single customer that's walking in the door. Go, oh, yeah, if you like, right, why don't you have... Like I would personally, Passion is one of my cocktail mixer rums. I would have the Boutique Rum Cut, the signature #1, always. It's a belter. For the price, it's an absolute belter of a mixer. But people are going to take one look at that and go, what the hell's that? Have you got any Bacardi? Yeah. I still know places where they actually carry Havana 3-year-old instead of Bacardi, and people are like, nah, no thanks. I'd rather have Bacardi. So, that is what you're dealing with in this sort of world. Let's put these back in order. Is there any more? Is there any more? I don't know what. I don't know the well-known brands. What I've got here. I mean, Plantation OFTD. You could have a bit of fun with that. You could. I haven't got it behind the bar. Tiki Fire would be another one. Old J Tiki Fire. And I know there'll be people watching now, and rum geeks might be listening, going, oh, shit, you don't want that. You've got to get your mind into the average person and how to make money. That's what it is. The fact is, you're cracking your Dumbo. Let's just call it Dumbo. You're cracking your Bumboos. Dumbo, that should be forever known as Dumbo these days. You're cracking your Bumboos, your Diplomaticos, hopefully your Plantation. Hopefully you can upgrade to Santiago 11. Havana, that'll be a good premium upsell as well. Havana, because everyone's heard of Havana, so you go, oh, this is even better. Havana CDP, Cuban barrel proof. Selection de Maestro, so I had to think then what it was actually called. It's SDM. But yeah, the Cuban barrel proof to us old school people. Yeah, there we go. I have to educate on that all the time. It's like people, oh, yeah, I want this, I want this. If your customers ain't heard of it, they're not going to buy it. It's that simple. Right. Lost Cheers, Lazy Dog Goldstone. Thanks for that giving. Question, Jake. Pam's laughing, so this might be funny. Is it possible that Plantation Stiggins fancy pineapple? Yes. If that's what Pam's laughing at, I don't know whether it's a tongue-in-cheek comment, but yes, it is. Because, as I've just said, if you have that to your average consumer up alongside red... Oh, it's here. It's actually here, the really old bottle. Hang on. This is the really old bottle. Look how much is left in that. Right? If you have that, pretend that's the new label. Alongside that, that's going to sell. That's going to probably outsell it 4, 5, 6, maybe even 10 to 1. Probably even more than that. It simply will. So, is it too posh for its own good? In a commercial pub bar sense, probably. There's still a hell of a lot of education to go there. And that's what a lot of people won't realise. People will be like, oh yeah, I mean, that hands down, that's a phenomenal pineapple rum. It is. But everyone's heard of Redleg. 16, 18 pounds a bottle, 30, 32 pounds a bottle. That's the kind of battle you're up against. It's what a lot of people don't understand. So if that's what Pam's laughing at, that was I actually took that as a serious question, and hopefully I debunked that then. Right. Just drinking. Oh, I can see where these comments are relying on now. So where are we? 18. Yeah, these comments are all 10 minutes ago. Right. I like the Tiki era Association of Chinese Food. I wish I could find doilies in my local shops. Atlanta. Interesting. Right. Bingo. I did see that, even if it was lowercase. What the hell is that? Can't read that. Hang on. Let's go back to that. See if I can translate that. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming you might have translated that down there. I'm going to loosely translate that as, what is the historical origin of and the evolution? Now I've got lots of words there that I can't put into a sentence. Historic, origin, evolution, production, consumed, and age. Tempo. No, over time. Over time. How come I can't put that into a sentence? I don't know what the question is there. What is the origin? What is the historical origin of rum? Yeah, I can't put that into a question. I've got the base words. I just don't know what the question is. Right. Had a go in mojito. Oh yeah, go in mojito. Nice. Right. Oh, there is no more comments. That's it. Cool. You lot went quiet then for a while, didn't you? You lot have been quiet for 10 minutes. There's been no comment for like 6 minutes. What's going on? Come on, keep up, people, keep up. Next question. Bingo, translate. Let's go back to this then. As you lot being dull and boring. What is the historical origin, evolution, production? There's too many. Yeah, I can't translate that. There's too many. Historical origin consumed over time. I can't put that. I can't put that into a logical question. It's going to be blatantly obvious, isn't it? I can't. Sorry, I just can't put that into a logical question. Right, translation. There we go. What is the historical origin of rum, and how has its production and consumption? Oh, see, it weren't far off. What is this historical origin of rum, and how is its production consumed and evolved over time? Oh, that's a big question. And to answer this, right. Yeah, I just couldn't formulate that into a question. So, I'm going to shatter Barbados' illusions here. Barbados think they invented rum. I think rum was actually invented in Brazil, wasn't it? I don't know. But I can talk. Hang on. Let's. I might come back to this in a second. Let's. A video essay, yes, Paul. Right, I'll come back to that because I have got an answer, but I'm going to answer it in modern day. Right, how does the blended process of plantation sticker from... Right, so how does the blended process... Right, so... The process isn't that different, to be fair. Because all you're doing with the plantation stickings is, as I said, you've got the flesh that's in the OD, you've got the skins that's in the white, you blend the white and the OD together, and you get that. Now, how proper rum works, and that's not to say that's not proper rum, but how proper rum works is that you get, I don't know, a 6-year-old cask, Jim Beam cask, for instance, and you might blend that with a 4-year-old virgin oak cask. It's just blenders will kind of blend a little bit together, kind of get, no, needs a bit more of that, a bit more of this. It's not just a case of 50-50 or 60-40. They'll be constantly tinkering to kind of get the perfect blend. And that, while it is different, obviously, because it's got fruit in that, you're basically, don't forget, the OD is actually a blend of 3 rums in the first place, or at least 3 rums. It's a blend of Jamaica, Barbados, and Trinidad. It could be a blend of 6 rums. I don't actually know, to be fair. It's a blend of 3 countries, but how many rums actually go into that, I don't know. So you've already got a blend going on there to start off with. That's before you then reblend it with the pineapple and the OD to get that, and then age it again. So it's not the process that's different. It's just, what's going on? I was going to say, that's that, isn't it? Oh, that's the SMOKY over there. Right. So yeah. Hopefully you kind of understood that. Right. Hang on. If there's nothing... Here comes Mr. Grumpy. Look. Is it possible plantation to make something worth drinking? Mr. Grumpy back in the house there. Plantation don't do me. Oh, plantation don't make anything with sugarcane juice. Oh. Oh. Yes. They make stuff worth drinking to everyone except you agricole fiends. And you know what? Even, you call it agricole, even after time, these guys are producing stuff that's not even legally allowed to be called agricole. So don't you start, young G. Right. So let's go back to this very quickly. I can answer this in the modern age, and I've already sort of answered this in the modern day. So what we've got these days, if you take rum up to, where can I pinpoint it to? Rum to, say, 2014, 15. Very traditional. You know, I'm just going to say 2015. It might even be later. It might be 16, 17. This might be a really new thing. But if you say up to 2015, right, all rum before that, yes, they were experimenting with different barrels and aging. You know, the barrel thing is sort of modern day times as well. You know, Madeira casks and sherry casks, and you know you got to think like the first proper sort of sherry stuff that came out was Glenmorangie back in like the late 80s, early 90s. I think that's when they started doing that. Glenmorangie, sherry, Madeira, and port. I think it was. You know, no one had really heard of it then. It was just so it's a new modern thing to sort of blend in different barrels, but this is kind of what I touched on earlier. So since I'm just going to say 2015, it might even be 18, 19, it might even be really modern days. But what you've got up until 2015 is rum as everyone thinks it should be. Molasses, sugarcane juice, you know, distilled, same old ferments, same old yeast strains. You know, we've used this yeast strain for the last decade, the last 30 years. Why would we change, etc., etc.? So rum's been made in the same way with the same stills that will be decades up to 100 years old, up to a few, 200 or 300 years old. And it's very traditional. Eldorado hasn't done anything really except release Port Moran, its own still cask, Port Moran, Versailles, and more. You know, it's not evolved. Richard Seal, Foursquare, it's sort of evolved a little bit. You know, his whole ECS stuff, single cask, different casks, but the one there are experiments with different sugarcane varieties and stuff behind the scenes. We're still not seeing that from Foursquare to a certain extent, and this is. I don't think this is a biased opinion. This is kind of like an out in the open opinion. No, until I see something that they're doing. Mount Gay, you know, the oldest continuous distillery in the world since 1703. You know, they release a different Madeira cask. You know, they release a new thing once a year, once every 18 months. They're not really doing too much. Whereas you've got this new age of distiller, whether that's UK, whether that's Mexico, whether that's MOBA in South Africa, whether that's Australia, whether that's Fiji, whether, you know, South America, North America, you know, you've got this new age distiller that are doing stuff differently. And the traditionalists don't like that. The traditionalists are like, rum needs to be aged for 10 years, for 12 years, for 15 years. Right, that's how it should be. It should be that ferment, that yeast strain. And all these new businesses, as Renegade. You know, Renegade's another one in, I was going to say Belize. Where's Renegade? It's not Belize. Is it? It's Belize. Renegade. Complete mental block. But you've got Renegade as well. Renegade are doing all these experiments, and some of them might not be up my street, but I flipping love what Renegade are about. Because they're taking the rum rule book and they're kind of ripping it up and kind of thinking, no, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to do different yeast, different sugarcane variety with a different yeast strain, and do that. I'm going to ferment it and see what comes out. You know, and that is so fascinating for me. You know, I love change. I absolutely adore change and evolution. It's exciting. That's why I'm so excited about UK rum, because I've got access to them on my doorstep and I could go and chat to them. That's what I've said time and time again. It's not because I think they are the best rums ever invented. It's because I've got access. Like, I could go and see Doug. I can literally just jump down the road, 15 minutes down the road. I can go and spend half an hour with Doug at Scratch and chat about different yeast strains that he's got this week, or different, you know, how his Dunder's evolved and all this. They're on my doorstep with the UK Scratch people. That's why I'm excited about it. It's not, as I emphasise again, it's not because I think they are the best rums. I would love to live within local vicinity of Renegade. I would absolutely love to go and see, you know, and spend like a couple of days every month and go and see how it's evolved at Renegade. I really would, because I'm so excited about what's coming. Traditional served this well over the last 50, 100 years. Don't get me wrong. I love what traditional's about, but I love change. So that is a very long-winded answer to that question, but that's where we are. You know, if you don't embrace change, you just sit in the past and you get grumpy and old, and you know, oh, things weren't like how they used to be and all that. Whereas if you like change, oh, what's this? What's that? What's that? So I think over the next 10 years, I think you are going to see less emphasis on aged rum. I think you're going to see a massive decrease in emphasis on aged rum. I think even from what I've noticed a little bit on some of the big brands, you know, they've cut down from like a 12 and a 14-year-old. You know, they're coming down to like an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old. I think there's going to be less emphasis on that and more emphasis on what can we do in 2 and 3 years. And that's why I'm getting excited. All right. So hopefully that's answered that. People may disagree, and that's fine. What I've gotten is an opinion. It's not fact. You know, if it was a fact, it would be black and white. We can all have our own opinions. We can all, what's the word? I can't even think what the word is now. We could all put our opinions out there. You know, it's not fact. You can't tell. No one knows. You can disagree, but no one absolutely knows. I just think over the next 5 years, you're going to see a huge abundance in unaged to 3, maybe 5-year-old rum with all these different yeasts and different ferments and different cane varieties and all this stuff coming out. And that's what I'm excited about. Right, back to Al Ho. What is your ratio for rum and coke? Mine is 1 to 3. Yeah, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. My saying that I like Al in Belgium is if I want a strong drink, I drink neat rum. So if I have a mixed drink, I like a nice relaxing drink. So perhaps half the time 1 to 4, to be honest, because I would quite happily, if I want a strong drink, I'll go neat rum. Didn't realise G stand for grumpy. Which plantation would you start G on to convert him? I don't need to convert him. He openly admits he's got bottles of that lying around. You know, 20 grams of sugar per litre for the agricole man, and he drinks that. You know, so some might call him hypocritical. We just call him G. Will you ever do a show based on Chat GPT? What I'm trying to do is upgrade my system upstairs. And I've kind of got my eye on Mac Minis and Mac Studios, so I can use that because my system upstairs is pretty damn quick, but it's old quick. So I want to be able to unplug and just plug in, so I can stream in HD, like proper HD, and get loads of different windows open at the moment. I'm just streaming off my tablet at the moment. It's a new tablet, but there. So yes, what I would love to do is have different. So at the moment, I've got dual screen here at the moment, which is pushing the tablet to the most. Well, it's not a tablet; it's a light laptop. So I've got dual screen set up here. But what I'd love to do is have the screen down here with another web browser open, and then a web browser up there, so I could kind of do that. Yes, that's what I'm going for. Renegade is Grenada. Sorry, Grenada. Grenadas. Cheers, G. I don't know where I got beliefs from. Grenada. I've said this a lot about food and how in Europe we are so too far away in tradition that kills innovation. Yes, I totally agree. Totally and utterly agree, Paul. Totally with you. You know, there's don't get me wrong. Look, this is not a hate on the traditionalists. I know there's a few in Discord. I know there's a few that I chat to in WhatsApp and on Instagram. I get it. Look, we like what we like. You cannot argue with that. You can't argue with that. You could, like Robert earlier, you know, saying, you know, the SMOKY pineapple. It's not that smoky. It's not to him. It is to me. You can't argue that it's not smoky because it is to me. And I can't argue that it is smoky. It just is to me. So, you know, you can't turn around and attack someone's opinions, attack someone's taste profiles, attack what they like. You know, you just can't. You've got your own opinion about stuff and your own taste and your own profile. So for those that really love the old guard, that really love traditionalists, brilliant, because there will always be a place for Eldorado 15, Eldorado 12. There will be, you know, Dawley's 12. I had a Dawley's 14 last night. My first time I've had it in about 2 months, 3 months, and I struggled because the last few weeks I've been on new, unaged, up to a year-old rum from in various guises. I'm just like, oh, this is hard work. I don't enjoy this. It's because I like. It doesn't matter whether they're pot or column. I've just learned that I like lighter, young-aged rums. But you know, Dawley's 14 will outsell probably a lot of the stuff I like because it's that popular. So you know, you can't slam the traditionalists. I'm just excited about the way it's going, the new age. Right, Saju. On the Saju, maybe a hint of sugar cane. Oh, what's that? That's got to be in relation to something. I don't know what that's in relation to, but I've missed part of the conversation, so I don't know what that is. Right. Okay. Mine and Bingo's questions were generated today by ChatGPT. Okay. So what? You whacked into ChatGPT, asked Steve the Barber the question, and it came out something in Spanish. Right. Right. More questions, please. Come on. In a nutshell, you do you. Come on. More questions. We like that. ChatGPT. I wonder if I can get. Hang on. What's another light browser? I use Edge all the time. So Edge has got like 20 extensions, so it really pushes the tablet to the max here. I could actually open another Firefox browser window tab. Bring that down here. Let's go chat GPT. Chat. I can't see down there. It's a small screen. Chat GPT. Right, introducing Chat GPT. Sign in. Annoys me that I've got to sign in every time. Right, GP. What I don't know. What I'm asking. Oh, see, I've killed it. With me for 2 minutes. Oh no, we're back. Yeah, that was my tablet. See, right, I've killed that window. So yeah, we won't do that again. Right. Yes. We filtered the best questions, but was based on what we asked first. Nice. So, Paul, the nerd, I have done what? Oh, was it? I'm sure it's a drink stuff one, wasn't it? Did I not do something for drink stuff? Chat GPT created this. No. Oh. There's a video coming up on my channel where, oh, right, okay. So, also I'm going to throw out there, Damien and Pam and stuff like that, Cotton Don. I'm just going to put that there, right? There's no label. I'm just going to throw that there. I've done a video about tiki cocktails and ingredient. Damien and Pam will kind of loosely cotton on to what I'm talking about here, and anyone else that's read those comments in Discord. I've put that in there. I've come up with some recipes, and I asked ChatGPT to name them, but I had to describe what that was, and ChatGPT has named my cocktails in an upcoming video. So that's really fun. Right. Here we go. I like these. Oh, good one, G. I'll come to that in a minute. We can have a good chat about this. If you were a bartender and someone ordered a Plantation Stiggins rum cocktail with a weird name like Flaming Octopus, what kind of drink would you make? Flaming Octopus, but I have to be flaming. Octopus has got 8 legs. 8 8 legs. So I'd kind of go with 8 ingredients, unless I had an octopus glass, which you can sort of get off Drink Stuff. It's an octopus sharer, I think, off Drink Stuff. So I would go flaming tiki. They might have a tiki. Oh, did they have a tiki octopus? Drink Stuff might have a tiki octopus. I've not showcased it because I'm not. I think they have. It's one of those gimmicky things. I think they have. So I'd probably put it in that because I can picture this like purple thing with like legs rolling around. So I would put pineapple. It's not really octopus, is it? Octopus with pineapple. I just think I'll go a bit Larry. I'll just go pineapple. I would potentially, because one of the things I love doing is muscovado with plantation. I like putting the muscovado in there. Not much, like literally about 5 ml. Bit of plantation, bit of that. I would go. Where else should we go? Bit of ginger in there as well. Ginger. I would go a bit of Amaro, Angostura Amaro. I would lengthen that out with probably something like mango juice. Don't want pineapple. You don't want pineapple on pineapple. I'll probably go mango juice. Bit of lime, obviously. Flush blend, crushed ice, lime shell or pineapple or passion fruit. Set fire to it. There we go. Thanks, ChatGPT. Right. I actually this was a flippant comment to me, but this is actually a really good discussion. Thanks, G. Have you tried the news roast mulling? Right, this is where it kind of who said that? Chris, bingo. Yes. Right. This is where it stemmed from, bingo. So I threw it out there that actually there aren't that many navy rums that I would drink neat. Now you have to remember, and G came at me, as he does, because G's tried every single rum out there, and that's not a flippant comment. That's actually true. G has tried most rums out there. You have to remember, my whole focus is rums under 50 quid. So I put it out there that there aren't many, if any, under 50 quid navy rums that you could drink neat. And to my mind, there aren't. Even as much as I love Pusser's gunpowder proof, it's not a neat sipper. It's a belter in the painkiller. It's a belter in cocktails. It's not something that I would drink neat. Black Tot, and this is the distinguish. This is the word. This is how you do. See, this is where my English language falls down. This is why I never be a presenter on ITV and that. This is where you distinguish. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but Black Top. This is where you have to distinguish. There we go. God, it took me a while. This is where you have to distinguish between. Bearing in mind there aren't no laws around navy rum of what navy rum can and can't be. There's no GI, there's no law, there's no anything. We would naturally assume that navy rum is a blend of rums from the Caribbean. Traditionally, we kind of thought English, kind of like Barbados, Jamaica, Guyana. But there's evidence that Australia was used at some point. There's evidence that Dominican Republic and Venezuela were used. So, some people do talk about English style rums in a navy rum. We loosely associate that with a blend. So a blend of rums. But then you've got navy ABV as well, which some people think is 57. Some people think it's 54.5. So you can have navy style and navy strength, but to be a navy rum, you would kind of have to be both of them. You'd have to be at that ABV and be a blend. Now, Pusses isn't a navy rum because it's not a blend. It is navy strength. Lamb's sure as hell ain't navy rum, as what we deem it. But no one can come at Lamb's because there's no GI about it. No one can say Lamb's is wrong because they're not. There's no GI. There is no laws saying what a navy rum can be. So, which brings me on to Black Tot. Black Tot is 46.3%. It's a blend of rums. They don't claim it to be a Navy rum. It's Navy style that is blended. But yeah, so this whole thing is there a Navy rum? Is there a Navy style rum to drink neat? I dare say that, right. And this is the question. This is how we go now, G. Right, 40, all right, 47. So you've put Navy style. That's Navy style. It's not Navy strength, it's Navy style. It's not Navy rum, but it's Navy style. And this is Caribbean islands of Barbados, Guyana, Jamaica, Guatemala, and Venezuela. So this, in effect, is Navy style because it is multi-country blends, if you like. I would quite happily sip that neat, but many of us would class that as a Navy rum. I don't think even Mr. Daiquiri himself classed that as a Navy rum. But in a style, yeah. So it's a fascinating thing. I basically took that as a dark rum, 54.5%, 57%, that you would drink neat. And I couldn't think of any at 50 quid. I really, really couldn't. I mean, all right, 130 quid, yeah. I don't know what the ABV is of this, actually. What are the ABVs? I've forgotten. 54. So, okay. So, right, 125, 130 quid. Yes, these. 2020, 2021, 2022. 100% drink them neat. But at 50 quid, that was my point. Right. So if anyone can think of a Navy rum, so they, in my terms, and this is no GI, this is no right or wrong, but in my terms, if you can think of a Navy rum that adheres to Navy strength and Navy style that you can drink neat under 50 quid, whack them now in the comments. That's what I want to get from you, okay? So it has to be 54.5%, 57%, and it has to be a blend probably containing at least Jamaica, Barbados, Guyana. If you can think of a Navy rum that has those two criteria, you can sip neat under 50 quid, whack it in the comments now. All right, fascinating. Over 50 quid, yeah. But you have to remember, my brain is always at under 50 quid. Right. Oh, sorry, Adria. I'll come back to. Oh, sorry, I've just seen you, Adria. Which one would be the ultimate wingman for a night out in the town? I love ChatGPT. The bamboo in it. It's got to be bamboo. Night out in the town. You know, you can't get pretentious. It's got to be bamboo or something like that. Maybe Don Papa. Don Papa's got a sexier label in it. Then yeah, you'd have to go something like that, wouldn't you? Right. Okay. Sorry, Adrienne. If I share a bottle of El Dorado 15-year-old with a special woman, will she love me? No. Oh, I love these. Right. As now, I must inform you that I'm serving a flaming octopus cocktail is not only... What? You're all on the chat GPT now. I like this. Right, octopus grilled. Highly encourage you. Is that what chat GPT said? Right. Right, so G's on it now. G's on it. I think G's just echoing probably what I've just said. Black Top, yeah, there we go. Black Top Masters blends, yeah, there we go. 130. But don't forget, I want 50 quid and under. Right, if Plantation Stiggins was a magical potion, what kind of enhancements would you bestow? Oh my god, these are getting worse and worse. Let's have some sensible chat GPT questions, please. By the way, I'm on Jasper. I'm almost at the point of paying for Jasper. I kind of like Jasper. Right, here we go. See, right, okay. So see, you need to spend £100 plus. Do you? Why? Why do you? Why do you? Right, okay. Okay, so 35 quid. Not a Navy rum, but there's proof that you can absolutely... Well, hang on, what's the strength of this? 55.5. So it's not far off being Navy strength. All right, it's not Navy style, but it's absolute proof that you can produce banging rums to sip neat at 35 quid. So why do you have to spend over 100 quid? That's my point. Why? Why are there no Navy style rums at 50 quid that you could sip neat? There's Hattier's, which, do you know what, is actually not too bad. 54.5%. It wasn't a glowing recommendation off our blind taste along, but you know what? I think people like Windy. I think Windy bought a bottle of this, didn't he? So, you know, it's got some fans. I've got a tiny bit left in there. It's got some fans. So stuff like that. New age again. This blended in Devon. Up there. Right. Let's put this away. Right. I like this. One option for Navy Strength Gin. There is this, of course, and that's just conveniently sitting there. Had that, and that's not the one from NRB. Although I did get some old boy on that. Kevin and Rachel were with me actually at NLB, and I've got some old boy drinking out from the Isle of Wight mermaid gin and vodka, but they've just done a mermaid spiced rum. But I got some old boy on. He was like, "Oh!" His little eyes just went, "Oh, what's that?" And his wife, I'm talking, there must have been 60s, 70s. I don't know how old they were, but his wife was just like, oh, she was like breathing fire after she tried that. That did make me chuckle. Right, the coaching on ChatGPT and it failed. HMS Victory. There we go. There we go. But you know, it's decent. It is decent, but it's not. It's not a, oh, this is lovely kind of rum. It's an unrefined ABV, if that's the best way I can describe it. I've got, where are we? I forget where. I've got like 58 percenters up here, down here, that I would quite happily sip neat. No sugar added to them. They're just absolutely delicious. They're so well balanced. And yes, they would have benefited from time in cask. I get that. That is lovely, that HMS Victory, but it's not rounded. It's not an enjoyable experience neat, like really enjoyable. You'd have a glass and you'd be like, oh, I'm a bit lightheaded. Not like the black tots. The black tots are so drinkable. You know, so drinkable at that ABV. Hang on, let's put you on screen. Das Kempf. Das Kempf. I'm in love with Appleton 12-year-old. What other rums are similar? Jake's on it. Yeah, Pam. I'll just send Pam pipe up there with that. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to... I wouldn't say similar, but... that cropped up a few weeks back on it. That's a newbie to me. I really love that. I don't know where you are, Das Kemp. You might be able to get the RL Seal 12. Again, I've never tasted that because it's not a UK product, but that's really good. Try the Dawley's 12 if you kind of that way inclined. Try the Dawley's 12. Try the Mount, not this one, the Mount Gay XO. Try the Mount Gay XO. This is the black barrel, the next one down. Try what else? Try Havana Selection de Maestros. Try something like that. I'm just thinking roughly similar palettes. Try Santiago 11, if you can get that. Yeah, same price-ish, give or take. Same kind of palette. Eldorado 12. All right, it's the 15, but the Eldorado 12 is right there. Hang on, it's right there. Eldorado 12, Eldorado 15. You know, they are very different to Appleton. The only way you're going to get something really similar to Appleton is another Appleton. You know, even another Jamaican rum is going to be very different. Like a Hampden rum is going to be very different to an Appleton rum. Worthy Park, another Jamaican rum, really nice, but it's going to be very different to Appleton rum. You know, so they're all going to be different. It's just how you kind of. Do you know what? I fancy a little tipple of that. I've not had this for a while. Let's have a little. Let's remind myself what the Worthy 12 was like. I've not had this in months. A little bit of funk there, but not much, is there? Ooh, banana. Oh, I quite like that, actually. I forget what this is now. It's up to 8 years old, isn't it? Oh, no, 6 to 10. 6 to 10 years old. Yeah, perhaps I need to revisit that. That's really nice, actually. That's a really good rum, actually. Oh, banana. The banana coming off that. Oh, that's good. That's a really enjoyable. Sorry, I'm just relishing that. I haven't had that in ages. Oh, that's going to have to sit in the front now for a while. That's going to have to sit. That's going to have to sit there for a while. I'm going to have to revisit that. Right, where were we? Back to it. Hattiers was my number 2. See, yeah, there we go. Hattier. I'm guessing someone's already answered this. Eldorado is amazing. Is it worth it to try 12? I don't think. I used to love the 12, but now I've got the 15. I probably wouldn't ever buy the 12 again, if I'm being honest. The 12 for me is very disappointing now. Whether that's my palate that's changed, most likely, or the blend has changed. Again, 100%, we know the blend has changed. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would ever rebind the 12. Because the 15, all right, the 12 is cheaper, but the 15, yeah, 15, I like the 15. Right, G's got some more knowledge bombs. What's G talking here? French Navy rum is about 50 quid, but as far as I know, okay. Right. Are you racking out the chat GPT stuff still? If you could only have one type of rum for the rest of your life, which one would you choose and why? That, because I've already done the video about it, and that's really easy. Go and watch the video. For those of you who haven't watched the video, it's a very simple answer to that. I drink neat rum, but I do love a daiquiri, and I do occasionally have like a rum and coke or a mixer. Okay, so one rum, I've got to love it as a daiquiri, and I've got to love it neat. Now, my daiquiri rums are very different to what this is, but I potentially wouldn't have them neat. I probably wouldn't have them as a rum and coke. Like, for instance, right, okay, and you're going to laugh at me. you're going to laugh. I know people are going to laugh, and I know people are going to be, what are you talking about? Right, that is still one of my all-star rums. I absolutely love that. The Rose Mullion Dark. I really do. I really, really do love it. It's a shocking daiquiri, though. And I can't not have a rum that makes a shocking daiquiri. I can't have a rum that makes a shocking daiquiri. So it goes because it doesn't make a daiquiri. Belting rum and cokes, belting rum and gingers. I do actually really love it neat. But if I can't have a daiquiri, So that was the whole point in that video. It's got to be a rum that I love neat, that I love in a daiquiri, that I love in a rum and coke, and the love with the Stratford soda. And that for me is it. The Plantation, Gran Añejo, Guatemala and Belize. I know many people don't agree with me, but it's an all-rounder. Absolutely, it is absolutely all-rounder for me. One of the very, very few all-rounder rums that I've got. Cocktails, like the Painkiller, for instance, Pina Colada, rum and coke. It's a bit lightweight in stuff like the Hurricane and those kind of cocktails. It would be very lightweight in a Zombie, for instance. Be lightweight in a rum punch, but I don't really drink those. Stratford sodas, Coke, ginger ale. Ginger ale is a massive one for me. Again, a dark rum and a ginger ale, no, doesn't really work for me. So that's why I go for it, because it is the all-rounder. And again, many don't agree with me, but then people drink different things, I'm a neat and a daiquiri, first and foremost. But that same rum also has to work as a rum and coke, and that does. Right, what's the funniest drink you've ever received, and how did you handle it? I'll come back to that. I'll have a think of that. Oh God, you two and your chat GPT. So you're using up all your credits, aren't you? This is good rum. If you were stranded on desert island with only 3 ingredients and one of them had to be rum, which other 2 ingredients would you choose? Lime and sugar. That's simple. Daiquiri. Right, next. I'll go to a tiki bar, actually, not a tiki bar. Go to like a 5-star restaurant or 5-star hotel. They Instagrammable drinks apart from flipping, functional drink. Yeah, whatever. Right. If you had to create a cocktail representing the famous conspiracy theory, what you guys like? All right, leave ChatGPT alone. Let's come up with some serious questions here. If you could use only one ingredient that started with the same letter to create what? If you could only use ingredients that start with the same letter to create a cocktail, which letter would you choose? The same letter, lime. Yeah, that stumped me. Right. I think this might be the last Chat GPT one. Hang on, this one here. I want sensible ones. Oh yeah, no, that's that. Right, Adrian. Right. What rum for 40 quid or lower has great flavour for women, both neat and also? Do you know what? I people might laugh again. I'm going here. I am going there. I am going Plantation Gran Añejo. I think it's and as I said, I've just explained it. I think it's one of the very few all-rounders behind my bar. I genuinely can't put. Do you know what? I've been thinking about this a lot. I genuinely can't put another rum in that category that is an absolute all-rounder for the drinks that I drink. I wouldn't get bored of sipping it neat. I wouldn't get bored of it in a rum and coke. I wouldn't get bored of it in a daiquiri. I have to look. It's what I said in that video. It's not my favourite daiquiri. It's not my favourite neat drink, neat rum. It's not my favourite rum and coke. In fact, it's in all of those categories, it's nowhere near my favourite. But if I can only have the one rum It has to cover all those bases, and that's one of the only rums that I have behind here that does cover all those bases. And that's what people, people go, oh, I would love to have OFTD, but OFT daiquiri, no, it's wrong. Black tot, love black tot neat, love black tot in ginger, love black tot with Coke. Daiquiri, no. Florida Carne 12 it's not a bad shout. I prefer the Plantation Gran Añejo in a daiquiri, but that's not a bad shout. I can handle it neat. I don't mind it in ginger ale. I don't mind it in Coke. I will say I do have to give more St James and the Clermont. The Rum JMs. There was one, the Volcanique. There was a rum there that I thought, you know what, that could actually be a really good daiquiri rum. I loved it neat. It's replacing the VO, the Volcanique. So it's kind of like the 3-year-old, if you like. It'll be unaged. It's an unaged rum, but it's sort of replacing the VO. There's those sort of vibes. I think this would be a bit too much. In a daiquiri, no for me in the VSOP. It is a thinker. It is a thinker. If you only ever drink neat rum, I mean, it's easy. You just pick your favourite neat rum. But if you drink a whole cross-section of drinks, cocktails, mixers, you have to pick that rum that does it all. Right. See, this is where we disagree, because that for me, I think I would genuinely hate that after another 5 years. Oh, Pam's on one. Calm down, man. That is very true. But you can't make a date if you're on a desert island and you have ice. You can't. If you can only have three ingredients, that's tough, isn't it? All right, I hadn't figured the ice. I reckon you could, if you had a water bottle, I reckon you could go down to the bottom of the ocean a little way out, and you could sort of chill it down in the water a little bit. David B, please let this be a sensible question. Oh, finally, a sensible question. Right. Very, very tempted to add Havana's selection to Maestro's. Is it a big step up? Yes. Yeah, it is. It is. I do think there's a huge gulf between. I'm always going to call it Cuban barrel proof. CBP. Always going to call it that. For me, it's not even Bacardi 8, even Bacardi 10 is not even in the same league as Havana. Look, you've all heard me. I'm probably one of the least, I don't know, but Havana 7-year-old is one of my least favourite rums. It's not even on my back bar, he says. No, it's gone. Havana 7, I don't even have it behind me now. I don't rate it. I don't like it. It's like, there are so many better rums at that price point than Havana 7. However, the Selection de Maestros Cuban Barrel Proof is a cracking rum. Now, it is £20 more expensive than Bacardi 8, maybe £22, £23. So you could say sort of double the price ish. But yeah, it's good. It's a good rum. Right. Question G. You love innovation, I'm assuming that means. So you love innovation. So does that make AOCs or similar a good or a bad thing? I think it's both. don't get me wrong, G. And right, there's a place for AOC or a GI. So appellate. I can never say it. I can't speak French. But appellation. What's the O? Control A. Appellation. Or what's the O? Appellation control. Yeah, basically it's a GI. So it's the rules and regulations that governs what can be and can't be. You know, for let's get things right. Yeah, for 2 seconds. I think that might be the easy one. Right, let's just hang on. We know what the question is. We can have a little chat about that. Right, agricole, rum, agricole. It's even got Martinique on the bottle somewhere. Yeah, Martinique on the bottle. Agricole conforms to the AOC. Clement, which is basically that rum, not an agricole. Hasn't even got Martinique on the bottle, he says. In fact, I'm pretty damn sure it's not got Martinique on the bottle. Yes, Martinique is not on the bottle. So that doesn't conform to the AOC. So it cannot have Martinique and it cannot say the words. Oh, it can say the words agricole, I think. Yeah, it can say the words agricole. It just can't say the word Martinique on it, even though it's just that rum. All right. So there is a place for the AOCs and the GIs. I get it. Guyana, as you'll find out, has got a GI. And I kind of like the GI for Guyana. It's look, they are good to conform to if they're in place. If they're not in place now, it's absolute nonsense to try and get them in place. As in Barbados, you know, you're too far down the garden path now to get it in place. But that's not to say this is the distinction, right? Let's put this up on screen now for those watching. This is the distinction, in my opinion, right? They are a good thing, but don't automatically assume that just because it conforms to the AOC or the GI, it is a better product. That's what you've got to flip your thinking on. Do not think that AOC, Martinique rum, Jamaican rum, Demerara rum, Demerara is the Guyanan GI, do not automatically think they are better. Because if they don't conform to that, what it basically means, some will do it on the cheap, some will try and, will cut corners. But when you experiment, when you create new things, you get different tastes. All right, it might not be to everyone's palate, but they're not worse. They're just different. So, yes, they're a good and a bad thing. They're good that you kind of know what you're getting. You know, the AOC is always going to be, let's just talk about Guatemala, Martinique. Let's just talk about Martinique rum. If you're in AOC, it's going to be the same old thing. Sorry, year in, year out, different aging, different that, etc., etc., etc. If you don't conform to the AOC, you don't have Martinique rum, then also automatically you've got leeways to do whatever you want with different barrels. You know, it is that sort of thing, and that's the exciting thing. So there's good and there's bad. There's no right answer to that. It's just both. Should read. Oh, sorry, I put. Yeah, sorry. That's what I've just answered, but that's. My back barrel is missing alcohol, so which one would you recommend? Bearing in mind, I'm assuming G might have come in there, but we shall see. I'll scroll for a bit, and if not, I'll come back. Yeah, he has. Right, there we go. There we go. My cane blue or HSC pass here. Yeah, again, do you know what? And to put a completely different perspective on that as well, I'll put it up here, innit? Do you know what? And that's the hard thing because we don't get that in the UK. The 50% Clement is actually really, really good to make cocktails. It's better than the 40% ABV one. Really good for cocktails. The Select Barrel is really good. You know, you don't have to go. Depends where your palate is. You don't have to go spending loads and loads of money. The Rum JMs that I had 5 of the rums, all under 50 quid. And the Volcanic was, again, I've not played with these. I've only had little samples, but they are, you know, they're really good rums. So it depends on your cocktail. It depends on your price, your budget. Yeah, well, I was having a cane juice week. I think a cane juice week might turn into a cane juice fortnight because there's loads of different avenues I want to go down. I think it'll be end of April. I haven't quite got the actual dates nailed in yet, but yeah, it could be a fun couple of weeks. Christopher, I'm assuming G has answered this, but that's not an. Yeah, it's not an agricole, is it? It's cane. It's cane juice. I think that's right. It's basically from Haiti, Barbancourt. Rum de Martinique is the standard by which all other cane rums are measured. To you, you know that's the thing. You know, there is no right or wrong. That's not saying that's the best rum, because if people don't like that and people like the new age stuff, then they're just going to look at that and go, you know, it's all right, isn't it? So again, it's like saying, well, El Dorado, that's the rum that all 15, 12, 14, 15-year-old rums are, you know, measured against. It's, as I say, it's a good. The AOCs, the GIs, are a good thing for quality control, but it's a whole new age. It's a whole new thing going on out there now. You know, if everything was strict, you wouldn't have Renegade doing all their experiments. You know, you wouldn't have Paranubes propping up. You wouldn't have Husk in Australia, you know, doing their stuff. So, yeah. I'll answer that. I'll come back to that Das Kempf in a second. I really like the 50. Is it available in Europe? Yes, it's available in Europe, just not in the UK. The 50% Clement. But I think that's basically why it's not available in the UK, is because we have that, which is just the normal cane blue, which is 50% ABV. All right, so we get that, but it's slightly different. Pop that on there. Pam's getting pissed. Look, Pam's like one letter at a time. Right, let's go back to Das Kempf. What was that? Considering treat myself to Plantation Trinidad, which goes for $100 Canadian. Have you tasted Trinidad? Depends which Trinidad it is. I'm staring at one. What's that? 2007. Depends what Trinidad you've got. There's been quite a few over the last few years. Last 10 years. So I don't know. Available in France. Right, last few minutes, and then I'm going to call it quits. That's all the questions. Right, couple more questions for anyone. I'm just going to have I want a sun-dried tomato one before I go to bed. If anyone's got any last few questions, if not, the members can head into. I'm assuming Havana Steve's still around. I don't know, but you can head into Discord. Claire and Havana Steve will be hosting the after show party, I'm assuming. If not, Claire can, and perhaps G might host this week. Any more questions for any more questions? I'm just going to munch on this for 2 seconds because I'm hungry. No? We need a countdown clock. Surely. Yay! Havana Steve's here. So, Havana Steve and Claire always host the after show party. I'll accept a question from you, just not from ChatGPT. These are really good. These are flipping like a meal in themselves. Look at the size of that for a crisp. It's like a loaf of bread. Slice of bread. Before I leave, going to fix that Stratford parent guide. Oh, sorry. That. Sorry, it has tipped over. There we go. It's because I moved the bitters earlier. There we go. Phil and Holly in the house. Right. If we're going to have, it's just ticks over 10:30. Any more questions? Yeah, it doesn't. It's because it's not white tacked in there. Sorry, that's white tacked. I haven't. That's just sitting in the bitters tray. That's all. I don't like it sitting like that. I like it sort of on the diagonal. But there we go. The lights are held tonight as well, aren't they? Without time. Right. I think that's it. So I'm going to call it quits. If for those in my membership community, if you want to head into Discord, I'm sure Steve and Claire will get the lights on and host the hosts with the mosts. Thank you very much for tonight's live show. As I say, stay tuned for tomorrow's. It's a whopper. It's a 47 minutes, I think it is. 47-minute video podcast with I don't think you need to watch it. You can listen to it. There's just a few cutaways to the stills and all that sort of stuff and B-roll, that sort of stuff. But yeah, I think it's one that you can listen to. All right. And then I'll let you know when the Plantation one's going to drop. But I'm there filming it on Friday. So it might be a couple of weeks before that comes. So that's me for tonight. Sorry for the issues early doors with the old camera. I don't know what was going on there. But shall see you all through the week.